All right, what's going on, guys? Garrett Johnston here. We got Valero Texas Open preview for 2022. What are you guys looking at? What are some of the players, some of the names that are sticking out? And when I look at the top, of course, Rory McIlroy. This starts and begins with Rory. Only guy over 11,000 on DraftKings, 11,200. I spoke with him at Bay Hill a couple weeks ago, and I asked him, "What's going on? Why are you mixing it up? You haven't played at Valero since 2013. You haven't played the week before the Masters since 2014. So what's happening?" And he said that this is a course he likes and it's good for him. It helps him stay in the present going into Augusta, right? Instead of thinking about the future, instead of thinking about history, right? What he's going for that Grand Slam. So few people have ever done the career Grand Slam. This really helps him stay kind of in the moment, be thinking about golf shots as he gets ready for Augusta. He finished second here in 2013 to Martin Laird. He finished open with a 72, and he found a way to get into second place. This is a golf course where you have to go low. And so that was really impressive that he was able to do that. 66 on Sunday. So if you're looking at Rory McIlroy, this is a great course for him. His form's good enough, and playing so well in the past at this course has got to be a source of confidence. If you're looking to stack your deck, right, you want to get a couple big names, why not take Rory McIlroy this week? He has great track record at this course, and this is typically a course, the second hardest greens to hit on the entire tour for the whole year. Rory McIlroy is a iron hitting machine, and this is the kind of guy you want to have. He's also a great driver of the golf ball. This is the kind of course where the par fives, there's 3 par fives, 590 yards or more. Okay, there's 3 par threes, 207 yards or more. So think about what Rory does. He's going to hit shorter irons into the par threes than a lot of the other players because of his distance with the irons as well. Rory McIlroy, I think, is a must start for this week in your lineup. We'll go ahead now to Bryson DeChambeau, 10,200. I mean, this guy, I know the injuries, but I think you got to go with Bryson. And I say that because I spoke with his caddy, Brian Ziegler. Brian told me that if Bryson's playing well, every course matches up well for him, obviously. I think there are a few spots on this golf course at the Oaks Golf Club here in San Antonio. There's a few spots where our distance will really play into our hands. As I mentioned, the par threes, right? 207 yards or more for 3 of the 4 par threes. That's pretty impressive. So you're going to look at Bryson hitting much less irons off of those tees than a lot of the rest of the field. Basically, he's going to be gaining shots on the par threes, you would imagine, hitting it closer. And then also the par fives, 3 par fives, 591 yards or more. A big time advantage for Bryson DeChambeau. The par fours typically, I talked to Terry Walker, veteran caddy, he said the par fours typically play into the wind, especially the longer ones. So think about over the course of 72 holes, what that advantage is going to be like when you got Bryson DeChambeau towards the top of your lineup. Into the wind is expected to have 2 to 3 real heavy days of wind. That's going to be a massive advantage. And as well, this course, the gusts really play out more than any course on the PGA Tour, according to Terry Walker, what he told me, because of how open and exposed this golf course is, the Oaks Golf Course. So you really have to take that into account as you look at bombers. This is really going to be a bombers week, and a guy like Bryson is your guy for this golf course. Now, beyond that, when you look at a value, who are some value picks? I'm looking at Luke List, okay, 8,500. Luke List, I think, is a great value at 8,500 this week. You compare him to Davis, compare him to Davis Riley at 8,400. Riley's never played this course. Luke List has. He tied for 17th last year in 2021. I know it's a little turbulent when you look beyond that. Missed the cut in 2019, missed the cut 2018, 2017. I get it. It's easy to look at that and get concerned with Luke List. But here's the thing. Since his Farmers win, 53rd in Phoenix, I know he's had some couple missed cuts since then and a withdrawal at the Players Championship. He played decently last week in Austin in the state of Texas. But look at his numbers. I mean, you got to go with Luke List, in my opinion, this week because of his sheer numbers. This is a ball striker's paradise. Second hardest greens to hit in the PGA Tour all of last year, only behind Riviera. And look what he does off the tee. He is 6th, 13th in approach for the entire year. Oh, yeah, first in shots gained tee to green for the entire season. This is really impressive stuff from Luke List. So I think you have to keep an eye on what he's able to bring to the table. His caddy, Jeff Willett, I spoke with him and said, what do you like about Luke at this golf course, at the Oaks? and he said he loves the distance off the tee. It's going to be a huge factor. It's really going to play into the way he can score and have a lot more scoring options than a lot of the other players because of that distance off the tee. He's 5th in greens and regulation. How do you like them apples for this week? Okay, this is that golf course, as I said, that is the 2nd hardest greens to hit on the entire PGA Tour last year. And you got your guy Luke List at 8,500. How's this for value? Who's 5th in greens and regulation? I mean, that is like straight stealing. Okay, you put this guy on your team, that is just an absolute bonus to have, and you're going to really count on Luke List to have a good week. I know you can look at turbulence and some of his miscuts at this venue in the past, but this is a different player. This is a guy that won and broke through at Farmers Insurance Open on a very tough driving course, on a course that favors drivers. The same thing this week. It's going to favor a driver like Luke List, so I think you go with him. Beyond that, other value, 7,300, Troy Merritt. I really love what Troy brings to the table. And yeah, I've been singing his praises recently too. Okay, I know he doesn't stand out big time, okay, but he's 35th in holes per eagle, all right? And when you're looking at a stat like that, I know it's going to be tough, but these par fives might be tricky. But still, he does make a decent amount of eagles, and that's going to help this week if he's able to put himself in position. Not the longest driver of the golf ball, as you know, 152nd in driving distance. So it goes a little counterintuitive to what I've already been mentioning and valuing here. But this guy is a bulldog. It's a tough golf course. That's the thing. That's why I like him for this week. I spoke with his caddy, Bobby Brown, former caddy for Dustin Johnson. And those two were together at Pebble, right? Trying to win until the 17th hole when he made double bogey. He still shot 67 on that Sunday. Really impressive round, and almost won that tournament there to Troy Merritt. So that was what he did in February. What did he do in March? Well, he was in the hunt, in the mix at Valspar all the way to the end. Of course, the final round was tough, and so it ended up shooting him outside the top 25 because he was 75 there on that Sunday. So, okay, he didn't get the top 10, big deal. Most important thing, he's been competing. That was his last start. He's got the energy. He's got the muscle memory. Now, this is a tough golf course, as I said, and that's why his caddy, Bobby Brown, told me this is where the advantage is for Troy. He said he's been absolutely pumped up at a course like this. This is a confidence boost when he comes out here. He said he's very good at not dwelling on bad shots, a bad hole, right? Getting over it quickly, okay? There are so many difficult golf holes on this golf course. It's the 2nd hardest greens to hit on the entire PGA Tour last year. So think about all the bounce back opportunities Troy's going to have, the way he looks at things, whereas everyone else is like, oh, shoot, I just missed a green. How am I going to handle kind of these scoring options? And I'm not getting there. I'm not hitting enough greens. What's going on? I think the attitude of Troy Merritt is a huge advantage for you in your lineup this week. He's going to have it in pretty high performance for this week. You got to drive it really well, is what Bobby Brown says around here. Of course, you've really got to be patient with, again, a lot like Valspar. And that's where we saw Troy Merritt succeed pretty well at Valspar, playing really good golf. You have to be patient with this golf course. There's going to be wind picking up, a two to 3 days of solid wind. And as Terry Walker told me, veteran caddy, the gusts out here on this golf course are some of the toughest gusts, biggest feel of a gust that almost any course on the PGA Tour. Why? Because it's so exposed in these Texas Valley courses, right, where they are. So it's very difficult. And I think having a positive, upbeat outlook, the way that Troy Merritt does, I think is a huge, huge advantage for your lineup. And it's going to help him throughout 72 holes. This is a guy, I think he's ready to break through. I'm not necessarily saying for a win, but for a big week this week at Valero Texas Open. So that's what I got for now. So hope you guys enjoy it, and we'll catch up again soon.